In this video, I'm giving you guys the best settings in Rainbow Six Siege Dread Factor. We're going over audio settings, controller settings, graphic settings, display settings, all settings that you need in order to improve your gameplay in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, if you're someone like me that played the game whenever the game first released, and now they stop and now they're trying to get back into it, this video is for you. I'm that same person. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege since release, and then I took a break, and now I'm trying to get back into it because I genuinely do enjoy the game. So I'm going on this long journey of learning all the new strats, best weapons, attachments, settings, all that good stuff. So I'm learning as I go. I started on console from Xbox to PlayStation 4 all the way to PC, and right now I'm learning mouse and keyboard on PC. So PC is definitely a struggle when it comes to learning mouse and keyboard because I'm not a mouse and keyboard player, but I can see myself improving a lot, so I keep on going. So on console, I believe the highest rank that I've received was either Diamond 4 or Diamond 5, and on PC the highest I've hit has been Platinum, probably 3 or 4 maybe, and that's on PC. So as of right now, I've been learning the game, learning new strats, and now I'm going to give you guys the best settings that's been helping me improve in my gameplay and helping me to rank up in Rainbow Six Siege. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it, man. So the first setting you're going to get into, you're going to get into the general settings, and this is really self-preference. Almost all the stuff is self-preference. One thing that I do recommend is drone after prep. I will put that on manual. Basically what that does is if you're droning in the drone phase and the time clock goes down to where you actually go ahead and attack, it's going to kick you off your phone if you have it on like maybe automatic. If it's just going to kick you off your phone, your drone is just sitting there in the open. And if you're still droning, still trying to find a bomb site, or just trying to put your drone in a nice spot to get good cameras for your team, then I would definitely run with a manual, so it keeps you on that drone. Even if the timer goes down, it keeps you on that drone, and you keep droning and trying to find that spot, or just trying to hide your drone. And the rest of the stuff, like I said, is really self-preference, so by all means, you gotta go check that out and just change it to whatever you need it to be. Now on to the HUD setting. This is really self-preference as well, but I prefer to have my HUD preset on minimal. It really turns off all the stuff that doesn't, like the non-critical option, it turns off all the stuff that's not really needed in your gameplay, so I just keep it on minimal. If you guys want to do cinematic, I wouldn't recommend it, honestly, because you just don't see anything. It's basically, I feel like cinematic is really good for grabbing thumbnails. If you're a YouTuber, content creator like that, it turns everything off and you just have a clear hardcore screen, basically what it is. All right, so I just keep mine on minimal, basically. All right, now on to the audio settings, which is extremely important in Rainbow Six Siege, man. Sound in this game is key, bro. Sound is key. Remember that. All right, so audio input device output, change that to whatever your speakers and your headphones are. And if you want subtitles, you can definitely turn it on, but I just have mine off. For my master volume, I have that on 100. I just have it all the way maxed out. For my music, I have it on 10 because I don't want the music just blasting my ears. I just keep it on 10, or probably put it down to like maybe 5. Or if you don't want any music at all, just put it to 0. But I just have mine on 10. All right, and for the dialogue volume, I have that on 40. Basically what dialogue volume is basically all the operators talking to you, give you call outs, things like that. That's basically what the dialogue volume, or maybe even the announcer telling you, like blast live or bomb down, anything like that. That's basically what that volume is. I just have mine down to 40. The dialogue volume is important, but it doesn't need to be blasting your eardrums out. So okay, so I just have mine on 40 or 30, whatever your sweet spot is, just put it on now. Okay. Now, as for the dynamic range, this is a real kicker. This was really confusing. I personally enjoy night mode a lot. I know there's people out there that play on hi-fi. I don't know anybody on this planet that play on TV. So if you play on TV, you are lost, my boy. You are weird. Okay, 100p, either night mode or hi-fi is gonna be what you're gonna pick. Now, hi-fi is most dynamics, at least compressed, provided the most clarity between sounds. Okay, so everything is a lot louder, so you're gonna hear everything. Okay, especially gunshots and explosions, they are loud. Okay, and one thing on hi-fi for me, I feel like it blocks off footsteps for me, so I don't like to use hi-fi. I mean, it is really good, don't get me wrong, it's very good, you can hear a lot, but I personally like night mode. Night mode basically boosts the low frequency sounds like footsteps and things like that. It boosts them up, and it brings the gunshots and explosions down, so they're pretty balanced. That's why I like night mode a lot, because I can hear footsteps and I can hear explosions and gunshots at the same time, so gunshots doesn't like cover up footsteps all the time, you know what I mean? So it's more accurate for me and more consistent for me, so I rock with night mode. Night mode is extremely good for me, but find out what works for you with night mode or either hi-fi. Right, check with your headset. Everybody has different headset. I have Astro 840s, But I mean, if you have something different, please check for night mode or even hi-fi. So a lot of people don't like night mode because it's a little quieter, but I enjoy night mode because I have a mix amp. I can turn it up if it's just too quiet. I can definitely turn it up and it'll be good to go. So hi-fi or night mode, just figure out what works for you. I write with night mode. The rest of this stuff is really up to you. Voice chat volume 80. Try not to have your teammates too low and try not to have them too high. Try to find a sweet spot to where you can hear them clearly. And you also hear the game clearly as well. Because if somebody sneaks up on your teammates or running up on you, you're not gonna be able to hear it. You know what I mean? So just try to have your voice chat volume at a nice level. All right. And like I said, the rest of the stuff is really self-preference. I have them on a push to talk, 90 record threshold and 40 record threshold. All right. Now on to the display setting. This is for all my PC people. If you are on PC, I would recommend to have your monitor, whatever monitor that you use, make sure that you're using the monitor with the highest refresh rate, basically. If you have a 144 hertz monitor, 240 hertz monitor, use that. That's really good for gaming. And if you're playing on like a 60 hertz monitor, bro, I would honestly just get a new monitor, bro. 144 hertz plus. 144, 165, 240, whatever. Just make sure it's over 144 hertz. You'll definitely notice different in your game and how smooth it runs, okay? But as for the monitor, like I said, I have mine on my 144 hertz monitor. My resolution is 1920 1080. Display mode, always have your display mode on full screen if you're doing PC gaming. Always have it on full screen because it prioritizes the game. It helps you get more frames. It helps your game run smoother, okay? As for the refresh rate, like I said, my monitor is 144 hertz, so we always put it at the highest refresh rate. You don't want to put on 60, you don't want to put on 50. You want to keep it at the highest refresh rate that is available to you, and mine is 144 hertz. All right. As for the aspect ratio, this one is really it's more in depth. Okay, for aspect ratio, I have mine on auto. Sometimes I'll switch it to 4:3, which is basically stretch resolution. I'm gonna apply and show you guys. It's basically stretch resolution, and what that does, it makes your targets easier to hit. It makes their head wider, so you see their head a lot clearer, and you can see their body. You hit a lot more shots on 4:3. It's a lot accurate, but a lot of people just can't get used to it. It's gonna take some time getting used to, definitely. But I do rock with 4:3 from time to time, and then sometimes I just switch back to auto if I'm just not feeling it at the time. If I just want to, nice little regular screen. Okay, but if I'm trying to hit my shots and get a little sweaty, then I'll probably put it on 4:3. Some people use 5:4, but 4:3 I think is really the sweet spot. Now on to VSync. Always have this off. On any game I play, any type of game, I turn VSync off. We don't do VSync over here, baby. You get what I'm saying? Nah, we don't do that VSync shit. That shit gone. No. Now, as for the FPS limit, I have on 144. You can definitely put it to whatever your monitor's refresh rate is or FPS limit is. You can definitely put it to that. That's what I did, to 144. And the reason why I don't put it on off is because it basically makes your frames unlimited. So you can go from 144 to like 200, 300, 400, depending on how good your PC is. It will definitely go to wherever frames it will tell you. But if you don't have the monitor to match, you're not gonna feel any different. Whatever the cap is for whatever the refresh rate cap is for your monitor is what your frames is really that's really what your screen is gonna show. It's not gonna show you going at like 500 frames, 300 frames. It's not going to show that unless you have maybe a 240 hertz monitor. The most frames that's going to show is like 240 frames. So I just cap mine off at 144 instead of unlimited, because it's not going to do you any good if your frames are skyrocketing and you're only at 144 hertz monitor, or maybe even a 60 hertz monitor. It's not gonna help you at all. So just cap it at to whatever your monitor refresh rate is at. Widescreen letterbox, have that off. Field of view, I have mine on 85. There are people that use 90, but find out whatever field of view works for you. I like 85, and sometimes I go to 90, but I'm usually at 85. HUD display area, this is really self-preference. Basically, squeezes your HUD in closer the lower you go, and makes it wider the farther you go. So I like to keep mine at 85 because I don't want to have to move my eyes all the way up across the screen. I just look over just a little bit, and it just makes it easier for me. I do the same thing for Call of Duty. I have my HUD display area tighter to the screen so my eyes won't be moving too far. I got some bad eyes. Y'all boys don't know me for real. But nonetheless though, For the menu display area, have it on 100. Brightness is really up to you. You can change it to however you want. I have mine on 60, but brightness is really up to you if your monitor doesn't have that much good brightness, or you just want to make your screen brighter and you can see the dark spots and people sitting in corners, things like that. Then I'll put it up a little bit. All right. Now on to the graphics setting. This is for my PC people, but there is one thing for console that I do want people to know about. Okay, now for console, there is this setting called it's a graphic setting, and it's basically asking you if you want to put on prioritize performance, or it's like prioritize something like that. For graphic mode, put it on prioritize performance. If you're on next gen, that is. If you're on next gen, you got a PS5 or Xbox Series X, which is next gen, you're gonna see the option prioritize performance under graphic mode. Make sure you have that on prioritize performance. Now, if you got VSync on, like I said, turn it off. We don't do VSync over here, baby. Turn it off. So, like I said, graphic mode, put that on prioritize performance. For me, on console, I only have the last gen. I have Xbox One S. I do not have any next gen consoles. I'm broke. Don't judge me. But hey, we keep going, right? But I don't have that option, so I'm always playing on like 60 frames on the last gen. And trust me, it's not a pretty sight. The quality is just trash, and the frames is just not up to par. It just feels really sluggish. You know what I mean? So sooner or later I'll try to upgrade to a next gen console. Now I'll probably be on a console full time, to be honest, because I just rather be on console. PC is just way too complicated nowadays. My PC be having problems, things like that. Like everybody's PC be having problems. It's just, it's just very complicated. But 100%, if you are on next gen, look for the graphic mode and put it on prioritize performance. It's gonna help you out a lot and make your console run at its maximum performance and give you that 120 hertz or frames, or however much it gives you. I know it's like 100 and something. I think it's 120 though, but 100% put it on prioritize performance. Now for my PC people, these are my graphics quality settings. Now if you're running, I got a pretty decent PC. It's not a terrible PC. It's a really decent PC. It runs almost any game that I play really well, and I really do love my PC. I really do enjoy it. So, but if you have a low end PC, your PC is just not that good at performing, heavy games, then I would just suggest putting all your settings to like low settings. For me, this is what works for me, and then I get really good quality. For texture quality, I have it on high. Texture filtering, I have it on anisotropic 8 times. LOD quality, I have it on high. My shading quality is on low. My shadow quality is on low. Reflection quality low. VFX quality low. Ambient occlusion off. And my lens effect is off. My zoom in depth of field is off, and anti-aliasing is off. I have basically everything on low and off, and only 2 settings on high, which makes my my graphics just look a lot clearer. Like the quality just a little clearer. And I am a content creator, so I do want my game to look nice as well as performing really good. Okay, so these are my graphics quality settings. I mean, I'm on a 3060. If you have like a better PC than mine, like I said, my PC isn't even like high end. It's a really decent PC. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a terrible PC. But if you have a really high end PC, you paid a bag for that PC. Then I wouldn't put everything on high, because if you want more frames, then I would suggest putting everything on low or maybe even medium. But if you're on a low end PC, definitely try to put these things on low and basically turn all these options off that I have right here. All right. And those are my graphic settings. Now on to the control. This is the juicy stuff, baby. This is the juicy stuff. So like I said, I've really been on console. I started on console, Xbox, went to PS4, and now I am on PC, and I'm really enjoying PC. And if you're using a controller on PC, you are at a disadvantage. Don't get me wrong. It took me some time to realize that, because I really do enjoy a controller. I'm just way more used to controller. But I've been switching to mouse and keyboard, and I'm seeing a lot of improvement on mouse and keyboard. So I'm just gonna keep on continue using mouse and keyboard and just improve. That's what we're here for, is to improve. All right. But these are mouse and keyboard settings. Raw input, I have it on off. Mouse look conversion disabled. My horizontal sensitivity is 10 and my vertical is 9. These are my mouse ADS sensitivity settings. If you guys want to copy that down: 58, 70, 95, 107, 93, 94, 95, and 152. All right. My mouse scroll is enabled, but I honestly just use the numbers to switch my weapons. Not the number pad, but the numbers on top of like WASD. I usually use those to switch my my guns and things like that. But if you want to use the mouse scroll to switch your guns, things like that, go ahead. But it's just gonna take you some time. It's slower than just pressing the key itself. I got my gadget deployment on advanced. I have my drone deployment on advanced. Now let me tell you about drone deployment, right? So boom. Drone deployment on advanced is needed. Like, you need to put it on advanced. If you're still playing on standard, you are selling, my boy. You are selling. You're new to this. You're a rookie. Come on, bro. We not rookies over here. We're here to improve. Change that to advanced. Now, basically what advanced does is stops you from picking up your phone to look at the drone's point of view as soon as you throw it. Okay, so now if you were throwing your drone in a window and you're right by that window, you throw your drone in that window. If there's somebody right under that window or right next to it, and as soon as you throw that drone, you pick up your phone, you're vulnerable. That's a free kill for them. They can just easily hop out, kill you, and just hop back in because you're still stuck in that drone. Now, if you have it on advanced, you throw the drone, but you still stay, you still stay at the operator's view. So you have to manually enter the drone. Like, you have to manually enter like a button or the 5 key or whatever key it is for you, or whatever button it is for you on controller to go look at your drone. You have to press that button manually. So until you press that button, you're still going to be in your operator's point of view. So you can stay and sit there and watch and see if somebody jumps out. You can bait people with it. I be baiting a lot of people with it sometimes. And it really does work. So that's a pro move, is to put your drone deployment on advanced, people. Listen to me. Put that thing on advanced. We're trying to get champion, okay? Come on, lock in. Now, as for aim, I have it on hold, lean, toggle, hold the sprint, hold the toggle, toggle the prone, hold the walk. These are my customized controls, but only thing I've switched on this, to be honest, is push to talk. And I believe my crouch and prone keys. My prone is C and my crouch is control. I believe I switched those two, because I think before crouching was C and prone might have been control. So I think I switched those two, but everything else is probably default. But here are my my settings if you guys want to copy that down. I don't know if you got your settings all messed up or whatever, but these are mine. Everything should be default. I feel like those are the only things that I've changed on this screen here. All right. Now on to the controller options. This is really my home right here. I'm really a controller player, but I am adjusting to mouse and keyboard when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm enjoying the journey here. It's really helping out. All right, but here are my controller settings. I have vibration off. If you have vibration on, bro, you're selling easily on any game. Okay, not every game, but if you're playing like shooter games, vibration is gonna throw you off because you're basically throwing your aim off. Your controller is shaking. It's throwing your aim off, bro. Turn on vibration, man. Especially if you're on maybe if you're on Xbox, you got batteries in your controller, it's killing your batteries, my boy. If you're on PlayStation, you know it's killing y'all batteries, my boy. I'm trying to tell you, turn that vibration off, playboy. I'm serious. Okay. Trigger effect, I have it disabled. Gadget deployment advanced, drone deployment advanced. We already went over the drone deployment. Practice says I have it disabled. It's basically aim assist for like situations and training grounds, like the single player stuff with bots and stuff like that. You can definitely turn it on if you want, but I just have mine off. Controller layout, I have it on default, but they added some new controller layouts within Operation Dread Factor. So if you guys want to try that out, you definitely can find out what works for you. But I just keep mine on default. Look inversion disabled, controller rotation classic, vertical sensitivity and horizontal sensitivity. Now we get into the nitty gritty. Now I'm trying to help you guys improve, and I want to give you guys the best that I possibly can. Okay. Now nobody else is going to tell you this, so I'm going to be the real and tell you guys this stuff right now. There is no best sensitivity. There's no best sensitivity at all. There's none. There might be a best sensitivity for a certain person. Everybody is different. You can use my settings, but you're probably not gonna like my my sensitivity settings. You know what I'm saying? But what I rock with, what I'm comfortable with, what I play well with, is 35 vertical and 55 horizontal. There's a whole bunch of YouTubers on here that could probably give y'all boys like 20 to 100. I mean, horizontal sensitivity is pretty important in this game, and a lot of people like to be fast with it, but not everybody can control that fast of a sensitivity. Not everybody can control that. You know what I mean? So I just rock with 35 and 55. It's not too slow, and just amount of speed, like just fast enough for me to, you know, control my shots and snap onto somebody in the corner or to my left, right, whatever. It's fast enough for me, so I rock with 35 and 55. Okay, that's what I do. Find out what sensitivity works for you. You can start off by using mine, but if you think it's too slow, move it up. If you think it's too fast, move it down. It's simple as that, you know? So find out what works for you. Everybody is different, man. Don't copy everybody's settings, because and one thing about it, if you copy everybody's settings and if you just keep changing your sensitivity, you're never going to get used to it. If you just keep changing it, you're never going to get used to it. Stick with the sensitivity and see if you like it. Try to get used to it, and if you still don't like it, then you change it. But if you keep changing it, you're never going to get used to its sensitivity, right? And like I said, these sensitivities, sensitivity settings work for me. I stay on target. I can control recoil. It works for me. Okay. Now, as for the left stick dead zone, I have mine on 8, and for the right stick dead zone, I have mine on 5. Your right stick dead zone, you always want this at the lowest that it possibly can. But if you have stick drift, then I would recommend moving it up. If the more stick drift you have, the more you might want to move it up. But stick drift, not stick drift, sorry. Dead zone is really bad, because the more you move it up, the lower of a response, well, a higher response time is going to take for your controller to actually know that you're moving your stick, and it's just gonna take a little time. It's basically the threshold needed to like detect the input of the controller, basically. So I have mine on 5 and my left stick on 8. Now here are my controller ADS sensitivity settings: 20, 30, 30, 36, 42, 44, 46, and 48. Those are my controller ADS sensitivity settings. And as for aim, we got on hold. And now one thing about advanced controller options, y'all boys, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Let me tell y'all boys something, man. I don't know what none of this shit means. Horizontal look acceleration, vertical look acceleration, acceleration delay, ramp up time. It's a whole bunch of acceleration, a whole bunch of threshold, a whole bunch of percentages. Fuck that. I don't know what none of that shit means. So you know what I did? I enabled that hoe. I put everything to 0. And I'll turn that bit right back on, because it's just too much for me to comprehend. I don't know what most of the stuff means, but I'm pretty sure there's a video out there. Well, I hope there's a video out there. If there's not, then somebody's selling. That's a good video right there. You know what I mean? But if there's a video out there explaining each one of these settings to help you better tune it for yourself, then by all means you can definitely do that. But I just have mine disabled because it's just too complicated. It's never that deep for me. All right, but those are my mouse and keyboard settings, and also my controller settings as well. For privacy settings, that's really up to you. If you're on PC, if you're a streamer or something, you probably appear as a nickname. Change your name so people won't be adding you or stream sniping you, things like that. That's basically what this is for. And now one huge tip I can give you for the accessibility options: go to screen shake intensity and turn that hoe off. If you don't have this off, you are selling. It's really gonna mess up your aim, because as soon as an explosion goes off next to you, or a stun, anything like that, your screen's gonna shake like a stripper, my boy. So definitely turn that off, bro. That's a game changer. Okay, just turn off screen shake. We don't do no screen shake. It's gonna help you be more accurate. Even if there's an explosion going off, it's not gonna shake your screen. Okay. And everything else is really self-preference. Optic color, I have mine on light blue. I just think it looks nice and I can see it like really clearly. So anything else is really up to you, honestly. That's really how it goes, man. All right, but that is today's video, man. All these 7 settings that I give you guys are gonna help you guys improve in Rainbow Six Siege, to help you guys rank up, help you guys get more wins in Rainbow Six Siege, and hopefully help you improve as a better player in Siege. All right, hope you guys did enjoy today's video of the best settings in Operation Dread Factor Rainbow Six Siege. If you guys did enjoy it, please drop a like, comment, subscribe if you are brand new to the channel, and please hit that bell so never miss a video from yours truly. I love you guys. Stay blessed, stay great. It's word of great. I'll see y'all boys next video, baby.